Hey guys, welcome to the first episode of Looking Back On, where I'm aiming to look back on wrestling pay-per-views, dirt sheets, you name it, anything regarding wrestling. So, SmackDown started with Shane and Bryan announcing the six-man six-pack challenge, which is, I don't think I've ever used six-pack challenge before. It's literally just a six-person match for a chance to face Dean Ambrose at SummerSlam for the championship. They handpicked the first 5 contestants, which were John Cena, obviously, Bray Wyatt, Baron Corbin, which was kind of weird. You would have thought he'd be in the Battle Royale. AJ Styles, Ziggler, which is kind of weird because you also thought he would be in the Battle Royale. Then they announced there's going to be a Battle Royale for the 6th spot. Then they announced there's going to be a Battle Royale for the 6th spot in the match, which was literally all of the male SmackDown, which was kind of disappointing because it would have been hilarious to see Baron Corbin versus Becky Lynch. Then the Battle Royale happened, which was kind of boring, to be completely honest. There were some cool spots, but there were also annoying things such as Ryder wearing Hype Bros trunks, which made his chances of winning seem very small, as that kind of shows that he probably going back to the whole Hype Bros thing with Mojo Rawley, and he kind of needs it, to be honest, because Mojo doesn't seem ready whatsoever. There was a nice spot where Kalisto, Apollo, and Zack Ryder ordered their high-flying moves to Kane, which is a nice way to emphasize their new era part of SmackDown Live, which is obviously the main part. And then Apollo Crews won, which was nice. That's all I can really say about it. Then afterwards, he was interviewed outside of the ring, which is a nice thing they brought from Raw. One of the best changes, in my opinion. And then it was announced that Shelton Benjamin would be coming back, which is awesome because he's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. And that kind of got me buzzing for a bit. And then unfortunately, it's announced that there would be Becky Lynch versus Natalya again, which is a repeat from Battleground, which is kind of weird because it's exactly the same. If the one at Battleground was a submission match and this one was a normal match as it was, then that kind of would have made sense, but it's exactly the same. For an example of how to do this better was Sasha Banks versus Charlotte, because on Battleground they had a tag team match, and Charlotte, it wasn't Charlotte's fault that she lost. So when they had a 1v1 for the championship on Raw, it was different, fresh, and probably one of the best matches of the year so far. Even with the shades of Eddie Guerrero versus Brock Lesnar, where Sasha did classic Eddie Guerrero throwing the championship at Dana Brooke and getting her thrown out for the advantage, which eventually made her win. So yeah, back to Becky Lynch versus Natalya. It wasn't even as good as the Battleground match, to be honest. In the Battleground match, Natalya was working the leg for the sharpshooter, which is kind of nice storytelling, which is why I kind of like that match at Battleground. But in this match, there wasn't anything like that. There was no storytelling whatsoever. I mean, it wasn't that bad of a match. Becky Lynch won, which is good for her. If Natalya would have won, it kind of would have destroyed Becky Lynch. She didn't really have any wins. Not many anyway. So yeah, Becky Lynch won. And then after that, all of the other female wrestlers on the SmackDown roster came out, which is kind of, seeing them all in one place made the roster for women seem very bare. First was Alexa Bliss, who dropped a pretty killer promo for how short it was. Then Naomi came out, trash talking Alexa Bliss as a face, which is kind of weird. Then Carmella came out. She didn't really get a chance to say anything because after that Eva Marie came out. Yay, everyone loves Eva Marie. Yeah, nothing really happened. She has a new entrance and stuff. It's kind of boring. It's Eva Marie, really. But Alexa Bliss looks very impressive and looks like she could be she could really run with the ball on SmackDown Live. And then we had Miz TV, where he announced that he would be interviewing a former world champion, which made it seem like there was going to be another returning wrestler. Then, in a kind of, it's a really good heel move, he announced that it would be himself, which was kind of funny, and then kind of annoying. And then Randy Orton came out, which is exactly the same as Battleground, which is the same problem as Becky Lynch versus Natalya. It's the exact repeat of the last pay-per-view, which Raw was nothing like. That was kind of one of my main gripes with this entire show, was it did the same as Battleground, but added less to it. There weren't any stakes or anything. So yeah, anyway, Miz TV, Randy Orton came out, dropped his John Cena style joke telling, I guess you could call it. It kind of felt a bit flat with me, to be honest, but I could understand if you liked it. Then Miz did some really good acting where Randy Orton was questioning his manhood as he didn't want to fight him. Then Marie said he accepts, and then Miz gives her the funniest look I've ever seen. I haven't laughed out loud at Miz for a long time, but that was a really funny look. And then they had a short match. Miz worked Randy Orton's recently injured shoulder, which was nice storytelling, and then Randy Orton RKO'd him once and didn't pin him, kind of looked off into the distance, and it was kind of weird. That happened. He was just looking in the distance. I don't know what he was doing for a good 20 seconds. I don't know, maybe he was looking at Maurice. I don't really know. And then Miz got up, he RKO'd him again, and then pinned him. That seemed kind of pointless with the second one. He could have just done it straight away after the first one. I don't really know. Next, Heath Slater came out, which was hilarious. It made me like him a lot more. He came straight into the ring, demanding a job on either brand, cutting an admittedly decent promo. When Shane came out, which was weird because Brian's point is that Shane doesn't have to do those things. We did come to think of it, Brian didn't come out apart from at the beginning and the end, which for the GM was kind of weird, to say the least. Anyway, then Shane comes out, starts talking to Heath Slater. Heath Slater starts to sign Heath Slater or something, I can't really remember. And then Rhino comes out, which was kind of cool to see him on SmackDown now. He speared Miz, and I guess that kind of means he's on SmackDown now, which is kind of nice as a monster heel because Baron Corbin really isn't there yet. Like, I could see Rhino and Dean Ambrose fighting at Backlash for a month, but I couldn't see Dean Ambrose versus Baron Corbin. It just kind of wouldn't work for me. And then there was a promo for American Alpha, which got me excited to see one of their matches, but then it went to the main event, so I guess they're not till next week. Yeah, and Shelton as well. He wasn't, just really weird. American Alpha and Shelton Benjamin both weren't there. Next was the main event. Right as it started, there were ads, and then when it came back from ads, half of the wrestlers were on the floor outside of the ring, which is kind of frustrating because I don't really know what happened. There was a couple nice spots. There was the Towers of Doom spot, as they called it. It was where they have three people, one's on top of the turnbuckle being held by another, and another guy comes down and powerbombs them into a suplex. They did that on both sides with two groups of three people. Bray dragged the ref all the way out to the point where he was holding his leg, which was kind of funny. Dolph won at the end, which was really surprising. He was kind of the one that everyone least expected to win. But I really like it, actually. I don't think most other people will, but I personally liked it. It's not a guaranteed 5-star match for Dean Ambrose versus Dolph Ziggler, but it's very much a potential-based excitement for me, because Dolph Ziggler's proven that he can build up a match really well. We just haven't seen it in a while. Maybe he can solidify himself as a main event star with this build and with this match at SummerSlam. There's no doubt the match will deliver. It's just kind of the storytelling that will make it 7 to a 10. Overall, SmackDown Live didn't really come close to competing with Raw in any way. However, SmackDown did show tons of potential with Shelton Benjamin coming back. Rhino came back. They might be able to fill the spots that seem very bare right now. Like, very bare. It's kind of... I don't see SmackDown competing with Raw unless they get another main event and another return, and maybe not even then. It kind of all depends on if they can build a star out of Dolph Ziggler again, if Shelton Benjamin completely carries and runs with the ball every week, and if Rhino can just deliver in general, to be honest. So anyway, that's my thoughts on the first episode of SmackDown Live. Be sure to tell me what you thought. Yeah. See you next time.